Welcome back to another episode of this Myteam career mode for round 4 of this career mode. Now we're here in the circuit, the Barcelona Catalunya circuit, for round 4 of this career mode for season 1. Obviously got no activities to do and no messages. R&D, we are still shockingly at the bottom of the grid, and see, in qualifying we didn't go out, but we went one lap and that was it, only one lap, but we have to switch our engine due to it being worn, and that's putting us at the back of the grid. And now onto the grid.
The Spanish Grand Prix has been a permanent fixture on the Formula One calendar for over 30 years now, and for good reason. Do you remember Michael Schumacher's absolute dominance here in that rain-soaked Grand Prix in 1996? That day he took his first ever victory for Ferrari, and we've had many more iconic moments since. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint down into Turn 1. This is a 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through the 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out Turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of Turn 9. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Alex Albon leads us away from pole position, with Lance Stroll alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Tsunoda, Charles Leclerc and Verstappen, Ocon, Hamilton, Perez and George Russell, Norris, Gasly, Nicholas Latifi and Ricciardo, Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Sebastian Vettel and Kevin Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, Joe, Oscar Piastri and the owner-driver. And now it's time to head down to the track. Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into Turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So as you saw there, what a strange qualifying with Alex Albon going pole position and Lance Stroll lining up alongside him in the two worst cars. Like, they've pulled out a wonder of a quality. I don't know actually what happened, because obviously it just skipped to the end due to the estimated time or whatnot. I literally just skipped to the end because I didn't have the patience to sit there and watch. But Albon in the Williams is on pole position for the first time in his in this alternate F1 universe. He's also one of the potential people I'd like to sign, but I'm not entirely sure yet on who I want to sign. But it will be more discussed closer to the time when Oscar Piastri's contract starts running out, or we start getting closer to the time where it's about to run out. You can see now in the formation lap, the end of the formation lap, doing a few burnouts here, keeping the tyres warm, because Turn 1 can be very, very slow if you don't have warm tyres. So got to make sure they're nicely warmed up. Apart from the fronts are cold, but the rears are plenty warm, and as we get optimal there, as we go to 1 red light, 2 red light, 3 red light, 4 red lights and 5 red lights, and we go green, and it's lights out, and away we go here in the Spanish Grand Prix. I get off better than Piastri here. I'm quicker than all these guys here. Guan Yu Zhou, I go past Guan Yu Zhou and Magnussen now on the grass as well, going on a little bumpy yellow bit road there. And obviously going to make a huge dive bomb here. Only in one driver, 2 drivers even, Alonso and Vettel, as me and Latifi bang tyres there. Latifi giving me no room as his teammate is on pole position, and is actually, I think he got overtaken into Turn 1. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if he's still leading, but there we get past Latifi. He's still kind of there in my rearview mirror. As you can see, Alonso also fighting Latifi. I got on the grass there a little bit. Wasn't really paying attention. Was more paying attention to the guys behind me as I make a move around the outside of Daniel Ricciardo. He sticks it on the inside though. He's not giving up this position this easily, this early on the race either. I stay there. I stick by Daniel Ricciardo. Got to get the moves up as quickly as possible. I start even from starting at the back of the grid. This corner is quite tricky here. And Alonso gets a better run because of my poor turn there. Obviously, I'm not very good at that. Alonso's there on the outside. I outbrake him more. And he almost loses the position there to Norris also, who is also pushing very hard. You have to be careful not to spin there on that inside curve because it is deadly. And here on this chicane, I don't even know why it's on this track, but look at the AI. There's like a little train forming there as I'm really catching up to Ricciardo from that. But now I'm going to use my ERS to try and keep up with Ricciardo. Albon is still in the lead, as you can see there on the mini-map. Carlos Sainz, I think that is overtaking Albon now into turn 1, which is so unfortunate for the Williams driver. But here we go. Ricciardo. I take Ricciardo on the inside. I dive, go very deep. He does a switchback move. He stays ahead. I try and do my own little move there around the left-hand side, but he stays ahead. And that's unfortunately for us. We don't gain any position there, and we compromise our race there, and Daniel Ricciardo stays ahead. And as you can see, I don't know if I showed that at the start, but I got a Spanish Special Grand Prix helmet. You can see in the bottom of the screen, it's a red, yellow theme kind of helmet, and we are not catching up to Ricciardo at this moment in time, as he is ahead and he's gaining the slipstream is there. I got over that little sausage curve down the right hand side. I talked to my engineer because I had no idea what was going on, and at that time the engineer is telling me I have underbody damage, and Lando Norris just zoomed right past me on that corner, but I overtake him again. He goes wide. I don't know if he looks up there. He makes contact there with me, and he goes ahead. He just gets the elbows out a little bit. There's Alonso, tries to have a little look on the inside of me there, but Lando Norris is now ahead of me because of the lack of concentration. But it's not over yet. Going on to lap 3, I have more speed than him due to the AIs being nerfed on the straights. I have decent speed here, but it's less of Lando and more of Alonso, who is gaining rapidly on me. I'm using ERS to stay ahead. He pulls to my left-hand side. I defend the inside line. I brake as late as I can. Fernando Alonso has to see the position. He can't continue trying to make the move on the left-hand side there. But he will stick around. He will stick around and try to make a move. And because obviously he started quite far back also and would like to make a few positions up. And you can see Fernando Alonso is really a thorn in my backside. Not for now, but for the entire race also. As I'm trying to stay and try and stick within Lando Norris's DRS for the straight. And for this, to make sure that, for this next DRS straight, to make sure that I can keep ahead of Fernando Alonso. Obviously he has the quicker car, but you know, got to stay ahead of him some way or another. As he pulls to the right, and I defend the inside again, and I brake much later than him again. As you can see, he's still there. He's still there up my rear end. That is very inappropriate. Don't take that out of context, but there you go. Fernando Alonso is still kind of there. He's still swaying about there, 5/10 behind. I am unfortunately not going to get the DRS from Lando Norris, so all that ERS you see in the bottom left, beautiful, nice number there, 68, almost 69, is going to have to go away because of Fernando Alonso pressurizing me. I push him all the way to the grass. He doesn't go on the grass, but he is still there, but I'm quicker than him. See, they really nerf these AIs. I go back onto the racing line. Ooh, he's there, he's still there, and I kind of go off the circuit a little bit to try and give him room. I still give him room, but he's ahead, he's fully ahead. I try to slow down a little bit because I'm going wide to try and make a little switchback move, and I carry on with this move. We make contact there a little bit. We still carry on making contact. I check for wing damage. I don't have wing damage there, unfortunately. And Fernando Alonso is still there on my inside there on this next corner, and he kind of just turns into me a little bit. He maintains a front wing, and he's still ahead. He's still ahead of me, but I'm trying to make a move work because now I'm gonna have the DRS on Alonso. I managed to take this corner well for once, and I have DRS. Will it be enough to make a move on Fernando Alonso here into this next corner? I pull up to the left, and I make a move, an overtake on Fernando Alonso there onto the left. And we stay ahead of Fernando Alonso, but here's the restart. As you can see, Alex Albon and Lance Stroll, P1 and P2. As you can see, Carlos Sainz making moves immediately as he brings that Ferrari up the grid there as he makes a move on Lance Stroll on the outside and then on the inside. And Lance Stroll cannot compete with that with the Ferrari due to being in that absolutely garbage of a car in Aston Martin itself. But Alex Albon maintains his P1 for this lap only. Charles Leclerc already making a move on Yuki Tsunoda after he qualified only P5. And you can see Max Verstappen there as well. He's looking to pick up the scraps between this battle with Yuki and Charles Leclerc. But Yuki is looking very racy. Not just this race and Imola as well. He was looking very, very racy there. Also finishing the points in in Imola. And at this point, he is also on my transfer targets. But I don't know if it will suit my interest to sign him, and I don't know if it will really have a big knock-on effect in the transfer market. So, want to spice up this this career mode a little bit, and signing Yuki Tsunoda wouldn't really make much of a difference in the transfer market, I don't think. But he is still a transfer target, and his stats aren't the greatest. And obviously we have a few transfer targets, some being Mick Schumacher, which is not doing very well. Sebastian Vettel's there in the transfer targets, and Fernando Alonso. As we see Carlos Sainz now making a move on Alex Albon, and he gets ahead in his home Grand Prix. He is putting on a show for the crowd, and they are loving it. You can't hear it, but they are loving it, I promise you. Lance Stroll is still very far behind. He's falling even further back, and now he's falling into the grasp of Yuki Tsunoda, who will want to make a move. But Yuki Tsunoda will soon be getting pressurised by Max Verstappen, who's only 1.8 tenths behind Yuki Tsunoda. Now only 3 tenths, so Yuki Tsunoda done something right. Now Carlos Sainz is still ahead, and I think he will stay ahead for now, for the time being, or until Leclerc gets past Albon and starts to catch up to Carlos Sainz in the clean air. But anything could go any way in this race. There is still 31 laps to go, and Carlos Sainz is now in a 1.7 second lead over P2, which is Alex Albon, who's dropped away from P1 after the start of the race. And Carlos Sainz will take this P1 currently, very much so. And Leclerc is now looking to make up a move on Alex Albon, just like his teammate did 1 lap ago. As he's going to the left, Albon defends on the inside. As you can see, he hasn't got DRS just yet, but Charles Leclerc is on the inside, and look at the speed of that Ferrari. The acceleration is crazy, but Alex Albon has got the grip on the inside. He's got the better line, but unfortunately, he cannot get past due to the speed of that Williams. That Williams is really not that quick compared to that Ferrari, and it just shows there, with the Ferrari just bullying his way past the Thai driver there. Now he will stay ahead of Alex Albon, but will he be able to make a move with the DRS now and the next lap? So, or will he just fall into the grasp of Yuki Tsunoda, Lance Stroll, and Max Verstappen? But we will find out very shortly. Now Leclerc is 2.6 seconds behind his teammate Carlos Sainz. And Albon is dropping out of the DRS there of Leclerc. We move on to lap 4. Sergio Perez making a move on Pierre Gasly on the outside of turn 1, into the inside of turn 2. And you can see Pierre Gasly's really fighting this one very, very well. Perez on the hard tyres compared to the Gasly's medium tyres. And Gasly kind of pushes him wide a little bit as Perez goes in the inside of Pierre Gasly and makes the move work. He makes the move stick, and Pierre Gasly is not giving this one up so much easily, as he goes back on the inside of Perez and is still fighting him. And he's going on the inside again, and he's ahead of Sergio Perez. Perez has the outside line though, as Gasly has a little moment there, and now Sergio Perez is ahead of Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly gets the DRS coming out of there, and unfortunately it's not enough. And now Valtteri Bottas, and as he just turns into Pierre Gasly's back right tyre, I thought he was going to make a move on Pierre Gasly, but he just turned into him. But there you go. So Valtteri Bottas couldn't make a move on Pierre Gasly, but now you see Lewis Hamilton on lap 5 making moves himself on Esteban Ocon on the left-hand side, where him and Kevin Magnussen in real life collided, or maybe it was a turn or two before. But there you go, in the inside of Esteban Ocon, the Alpine driver. As Lewis Hamilton there has a little snap there at the back. The Alpine driver is still fighting this one, as Lewis Hamilton places his car much better to defend from the Alpine driver. But the Alpine driver has got the fighting spirit, and he's not going to give this up so easily against Lewis Hamilton. As you can see, he is still there. He is still there, but I don't think he gets the move done. As you can see now, cutting back to me, I have Fernando Alonso chasing me hard and fast. Again, do not take that out of context as I go wide, and Fernando Alonso is there on the inside immediately. He pounces on that mistake, and he's still on the inside, so I give him room, and I go slightly wide off the racing line, and he just gets the elbows out there. But I'm still here, and I'm going to go for a move there as Fernando Alonso looks up, and I go ahead of Fernando Alonso there, and I make the move, and now he's getting pressurized by Magnussen, who was on the inside of Fernando Alonso there, and he almost makes a move there on me too, and I almost just turned in on there, but I stay ahead. Fernando Alonso behind me, but it's not over yet. Fernando Alonso will get the DRS on me, but I don't think he's close enough to make a move as he stays behind, hoping to get the DRS for the straight. And Magnussen is still battling him as well, and Max Verstappen now making moves up the grid as he makes a move on the left-hand side of Lance Stroll. But Lance Stroll, he stays ahead into turn 1. He survives, but Max Verstappen with the acceleration at Red Bull is just insane on the inside of the turn 2. But Lance Stroll, he is still. I thought he was still fighting there, but Max Verstappen with the superior car stays ahead. And that's unfortunate for Lance Stroll. Starting P2 and whatnot, and Albon obviously holding up better compared to where he started than Lance Stroll. And here, as you can see, Magnussen is ahead of Fernando Alonso now as he's pressurizing me. I have my ERS on. He has DRS. I have no DRS. And he pulls to my left-hand side. I try to squeeze him as far as I can legally. He tries to make the switchback move work, but I have a better traction coming out of that corner, and he stays behind, and I survive to live another lap. But there we go. No, he's coming back at me on the left-hand side of this corner, and he backs out slightly as I would have obviously pushed him down to the grass. And now Fernando Alonso is making moves again on Kevin Magnussen whilst I'm holding him up. Alonso there was making a move. As you can see, he has gotten past him onto this next lap, and Alonso is now pressurizing me as he'll switch to my inside. I gave him room there. I think he nudged me there. I couldn't really tell, but there you go. He does not get past. I stay ahead, and obviously I live to race another lap. And you can see, as soon as I said that, Fernando Alonso is still there, and I go kind of wide a little bit there, and Fernando Alonso is still there. He is still there. He is still there. I keep saying that. Anyway, Max Verstappen now looking to make moves as quick as possible to catch up with Leclerc, and it's now too late. But he makes the move on Alex Albon, and in the same fashion that he did against Lance Stroll, he gets up on the inside with the insane acceleration of that Red Bull. But Albon still fights it. He's not giving up so easily, but that Red Bull is just too quick. But he is still there. He is still there. Oh my goodness, take a shot for every time I said he's still there. Right, now, Albon is unfortunately gotten past by Max Verstappen, and Max Verstappen is up to P3, but I think now it's too late to catch up to Leclerc and Sainz. But you can see Fernando Alonso gets a great exit out of there. He's on my right-hand side. He brakes later than me, but it's not quick enough. He doesn't have the better line than I do, and I stay ahead of that corner there. But he is going to fight it. Coming out of the last corner into the start-finish straight here. This is a very tricky chicane as I go a little bit off the racing line there and go a little bit wide. But here we go. Fernando Alonso dropping a little bit further back. Oh no, sorry. That was from lap 8 to lap 9, so nothing really happened on the straight. But here we go, lap 10, sorry. Fernando Alonso is on my left-hand side. He's not quick enough. The DRS is not good enough as he makes another switchback move to the inside. This time, he has to just see the position and give up the overtake. But he's going again onto this next lap, next corner, sorry. As he pulls to the left-hand side, he doesn't want to make the move on the inside there, so he sticks behind me, and he thinks better of it as he's planning to go and overtake on the straight instead. But it hasn't proven worthy. As you can see, onto this at the end of lap 10, Fernando Alonso is now fighting me on the straight. He has DRS, probably using ERS, and it's not good enough. You can see he can't get past. He can't get fast. He's not fast enough. As I just give him enough room on the outside, but he's just not quick enough. I outbrake him, and he stays behind, and yeah, he can't get past. Now cutting on to lap 12 here. Fernando Alonso's on the inside, but I think he goes over the curb, so he kind of backs out a little bit. So he's gone a bit slow coming out of turn 1, and I've got the better traction on the outside there. But Fernando Alonso looks like to line up on the move, and he dived me again. Oh, and he's hit my rear right tyre, and I've spun. That is again where the Alpines, the ALPINE, taking out Citroen. You know, they don't like being overruled now that, having a new French team, they really want to show who's boss. But Jesus Christ. Again. Now, this is 3 races in a row where they, done me right over. So you got an optimal turn in. Me and Piastri double stack. But this race is not about Piastri, it's about me. As I come out behind the Alfa Romeo driver, but it's okay. As now we're under the safety car due to that crash with Alonso, which was, I think, ridiculous. Honestly, Fernando Alonso is just like his teammate Esteban Ocon, very arrogant and don't know how to drive, because he made that move from well far back, and now we have a replay of what happened. Since Fernando Alonso, he wasn't going to make a move, and desperation begun to creep in. He looked like he was going to make the move, but I didn't think much of it. And he just dived on the inside, just cut the corner a little bit and just took me out. No patience there. Just completely arrogantly ignored me and just had it his way, really. And now, onto the safety car. Everyone is pitting. You can see Red Bull had a double stacked. Red Bull didn't double stack. But Verstappen has shockingly gone onto softs. So this is going to be an interesting 2-stop for them, as well as Perez also going onto softs, I think. But onto the safety car restart, I have to make these moves as quickly as possible to make up for that crash, that lazy crash between me and Fernando Alonso. Now he is the gainer out of it, and he's in P13, and Daniel Ricciardo retiring with engine issues, as Esteban Ocon now making a move on Perez. I think it actually was the other way around. Perez making a move on Ocon, and he goes through. See, Perez on the softs, he's on the 2-stop as well, so he's got to make as much as possible to gain in this race at all. But here we go. Ocon is too far back to catch Perez, and obviously no DRS yet. But now on to lap 17. Perez is still making moves up the grid. As you can see, he gets the elbows out there and bullies his way past Lance Stroll, and now he's got Alex Albon to get past. As you can see, Lewis Hamilton and George Russell both getting past Albon there. And now turning the attention back to me, I have Guan Yu Zhou in my radar, and I need to make this move as soon as possible. As you can see there in front, I don't know who that was, someone locked up, but it's looking a bit shaky, and currently it's a train between all these midfield cars, including me. And I have to make my way up the field as soon as I can. As you can see, I proper Brexit my way past that overtake there. As you can see, getting my elbows out and dive bombing Guan Yu Zhou into that very unorthodox place to overtake, but still made it move and made it work. And now, a few laps later, now I have Vettel in my sights. Not Guan Yu Zhou anymore, but here we go. And now we're going to line up a move on Sebastian Vettel. He goes defensive on the inside, but I'm going to go on the grass and make the overtake on the inside. What a move. What a move. He has to give that position now, because, I had the better line into that corner and I made the overtake there. As you can see, also overtaking Gasly, and now it's me versus Alonso. And I'm getting flashbacks and proper PTSD from our battle earlier. And now this is a replay of my move on Sebastian Vettel, and what a move it was indeed. Proper flashbacks, what happened a few years ago between, I think it was Vettel and Alonso. So, making a very Vettel-esque move there on the grass. And what a move it was. Now, this is a replay of the move I made on Pierre Gasly on lap 23. Just a pretty basic box standard move on the inside there is he has to just brake as I kind of just proper get my elbows out for that one too. Now chasing Fernando Alonso with Pierre Gasly also quicker. As you can see, he is gaining. He pulls to the right hand side. I squeeze him there a little bit as much as I can, as legally as I can. But Pierre Gasly is not my battle. I have to stay ahead of him. Oh my goodness! I kind of have to cut. I have to just cut the track there because I thought he was still alongside me, but I managed to stay ahead now. And now I have Max Verstappen now, who has caught up. I just drift around that corner there. But Max Verstappen is now caught up on the medium tyres. Now it's lap 26. He's got a buzz Gasly himself. But on those medium tyres are working wonders for Verstappen. And now I have to defend from Verstappen whilst also catching Alonso, which isn't too hard because this train ahead is making him brake extremely early into that corner, into that chicane, which I'm much quicker than the AI's through. And I'm going to have DRS. I'm going to have to defend from Verstappen as much as I can. Couldn't get past Alonso. Verstappen didn't get past me, but now it's lap 28. And I am going to get past Alonso here, surely. And I pull to the right-hand side there. As you can see there, I make the move on the inside. And Fernando Alonso and I do not collide this time, thankfully. And I get ahead of Fernando Alonso. And I have wing damage. I didn't even realise this. But anyway, moving on to lap 29 now. And I'm going to make a move on Lando Norris. I'm far enough back to make the lunge. Very late, deep lunge on Lando Norris, but he has to give room there, and obviously it's enough for me to get past there. And now Yuki Tsunoda is next on the hit list, and he goes defensive on the inside, but I go on the outside there. It's better for the inside line into turn 2, and I get ahead. And it's a great move to put myself up into P9. I am not done yet, though. I have Lance Stroll next on my radar on lap 31, going on to lap 32. I have to make this move quick, or Max Verstappen will swallow me whole with that Red Bull, and I pull to the right of the Aston Martin as I go for a lunge on the inside, but he sticks it. He stays there, and I get ahead though. I think they have got a better car than us in R&D, but I am just a better driver. I'm better than Lance Stroll, but he's not giving up. He's on the inside there. I give him room. We make contact. He doesn't spin, thankfully, and we are both still in this race, but I stay ahead of Lance Stroll, and unfortunately, that's a huge demise from Lance Stroll after he started in P2. I will never know what happened in that qualifying for him to finish in P2, but he's getting pressurized by Max Verstappen himself. I'm too far back to catch Alex Albon, but it's okay. But now Verstappen is looking to make a move on Lance Stroll. But Lance Stroll is showing worthy of that Aston Martin and proving that it's not too bad of a race car, obviously getting P2. But Max Verstappen has a straight, which, the Red Bull is actually insane on compared to the Aston Martin to go. Going on to lap 33, the last lap of the race. We're going to see if Verstappen now can make a move on Lance Stroll. We're going to have a look now. Yes, he can. He goes to the left. He pulls to the left. He's slightly behind, though, but he is going to stick it. Oh, Lance Stroll had to see the position. That's such an unfortunate overtake from Lance Stroll's point of view, but great for Max Verstappen. He's a championship leader, but it's currently not looking it, as Carlos Sainz will go ahead if he wins this Grand Prix. And as you can see, I'm still trying to catch up as much as I can to Albon, but it doesn't matter. I can't catch him. But one person that can catch me, though, is Max Verstappen. As you can see, I'm in P8, and I'm not ready to let this P8 go. This great result for Citroen. I'm not ready to let it go. But Max Verstappen, he is in hot pursuit of my car. But he pulls to the right, the inside there. He dives me on the inside. He is now ahead, but I stay there on the outside. I hang around there, and I'm going to try and defend this as much as I can from Max Verstappen, the reigning world champion, obviously, in real life. And I stay ahead, thankfully, of this last lap. What a last lap drama there from Max Verstappen, really trying to make a move and still P8 from Citroen here. And as you can see, it's going to be a drag race to the line almost. And he pulls to the right with the DRS, and it's not enough. It's not enough. We finish in P8, and what a result from Citroen that is. And honestly, it's our first legit points, and that is absolutely insane. Let's go. That's really good race. And what an amazing result. Carlos Sainz winning his home Grand Prix and Charles Leclerc coming second behind his teammate. And George Russell picking up the last spot on the podium. And it's a 1-2 for Ferrari here in Spain. And what a great result for Citroen that was. You know, bringing home the first points of the season and with a hefty amount too. 4 there, as you can see, Carlos Sainz celebrating his second win this season already with the Scuderia Ferrari. He's celebrating with his team and well deserved. He's a good drive. Managed to get past Albon and Lance Stroll. And honestly, that is a very unfortunate demise for Lance Stroll and Albon. But with the slowest cars on the grid, I don't think they were going to get much far, in the race. But good race for Ferrari. Re-overtaking Red Bull in the championship, in the constructors and the world drivers standings too. And as you can see, the podium there. And you can see Carlos Sainz is going to celebrate now. And that's good result for them. But on the other side of the spectrum, finishing P8 was incredible. I had the pace to carry on going. If there was another 20 laps, I'm very certain I could have made even more positions than where I am now. And, I had the pace to carry on going. I was picking up the pace there at the end of the race. And to make up all those positions from P22 to P8, it was a great result for us. And, hopefully we can continue the momentum onto the next race. And there's the results there. And George Russell from P10 into P3, and I grabbed driver of the day for P22 to P8. But there you go, Citroen's first Formula 1 points, and it comes in a batch of 4. So that's a great result. And, we're on to the next now. This is behind us, but this is really good result. Now we're going to collect weekly resources to afford some R&D upgrades for our vehicle. And we do the weight training there, the fun and team event, and the sponsor event, filming for that. And going on to the R&D now, we're going to upgrade this cylinder head, which is a major upgrade in the engine power department, the power train, and we haven't got enough to afford anything else with only 449 R&D points there. So we're going to simulate a little bit further ahead on gaining more R&D points. And there's the driver market. Still having my eyes on a few drivers, The driver market currently is a bit in tatters. And the silly season is on in real life. And it will be upon us very quickly in this career mode also. But as you can see, I will show you the R&D graph. We are last there. And there's the R&D graph. We are last. Red Bull in first. Not by much though. Ferrari very much on their tail in the R&D chart there. As we continue simulating to gain some stuff, complete our events, we get an event here very shortly. Powertrain event. And this we can invest to gain 750 resource points, which currently will do us very, very nicely, which can afford another major upgrade for our car. And we're going to gain a little bit more resource points here and there, and we're going to upgrade something else on our car. We're going to upgrade the engine cover redistribution there. This is going to help us a little bit. We're going to pull a little bit further ahead in the R&D chart from it. Compared to the guys in ahead of us, and we have a few R&D points, enough to upgrade some durability, and it won't really do much. But anyways, this is the end. We simulate to the Canadian Grand Prix, which will be in the next episode. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys shortly.